Listens Live is back, and we are so excited because the Elder Advisors are back as well. Always love when Larry Elder and Lindsay Fleming are here in the house, sharing all their wisdom and knowledge.
Hello, Kentuckiana. Hello, children.
I didn't get that greeting.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
It's good to see you both.
Likewise, Brian.
Don't we look nice? We're all in the blue.
We are in the blue. But emotionally, we're hot red, baby. Yes. We are hot red. We're not blue.
We're hot red for a workshop coming up.
Don't go broken nursing home. You don't have to, Kentuckiana.
We have 3 workshops.
Let's hit them. Let's talk about them.
3.
Yeah.
They're important.
Come out and join us. Yeah.
Well, and then we've got Wednesday, we're down in Corden, which we've got a great rancher down there. His name is James Andrew. He mends fence. You know, he's retired now, so it's kind of therapeutic. He's kind of a farmer, you know, kind of like Yellowstone type, but he likes mending fences. And, you know, conversely, we all try to as well. But good for James Andrew, farmer out in Corden. Love him.
Sorry, I apologize to everybody I know.
That was
Come on, boo.
That was my next question. Lindsay, did you know that info was coming out today during the segment?
I didn't. It was so great. It was so great.
It's because I'm a people person. I take the time to know the clients.
You do.
Lindsay's all business.
I am all business. We love Corden, and Corden's been so good to us, and we've really worked hard to serve Corden in the last year or so. So we're excited to be back and see them. So.
I'm excited to be here now on live television.
Well,
you know, this is my home. Wave 3 community. LA comes out and greets me.
Very comfortable.
The chair you're in has your initials on the back even.
It is, and probably a piece of gum under it too.
Somebody tried to sit in that one yesterday. I made him switch it out for the one
That is hollow ground. That is hollow ground.
We're smart.
Right. To the side.
All right, let's talk a bit about, obviously people are familiar with you guys, but if they haven't been out to the workshops before, what they can expect this time around.
They'll probably learn a few things, intermittent with my, sporadic, terrible comedy routines.
It's not terrible, though. It's entertaining.
Mediocre.
Hey, look, it's just tough stuff, okay? And, so many families are emotionally devastated when one spouse goes into care because there's the concern over their physical issue, their health concerns, but, we're all human. We start being concerned about losing our life savings. And the reality is, if they go to the right people, and I would suggest Elder Advisors the right people, is we can protect those assets. Because husband and wife, there's special exceptions, Brian, where we can keep all the assets for a couple. For a single person, about half of those assets. And half of something is better than all of nothing. But it takes the right skill set. We're not attorneys. We don't do the legal part. We have attorneys at the workshops for Monday in Louisville and then Tuesday in Clarksville. And, of course, down where rancher James Andrew will be on Wednesday down in Corden. So we always have attorneys there because there's almost a legal component, almost always.
You guys always have great folks that you could partner with that help out along the way. And Lindsay, I want to talk for a second about what it's like when you help people, because as Larry mentioned, this is a process that a lot of people get worried about. So when you guys work so hard, when you're able to help someone through this process and make it easier than what it would have been without your help, those moments have to be impactful.
Yeah, it is. And so I know I was talking to a client once. She was like, I can't come in today. I got to drive to Frankfurt and get the birth certificate. And I was like, stop the car. Pull over. You are not going to Frankfurt to get the birth certificate. Come in. Let's talk. And that particular client was out of town. The adult child was out of town and mom was in town. And it was just a blessing to be able to kind of help them take the weight off their shoulders. And much like Larry said, it's an emotional time. Oh my gosh, people are freaking out. We don't know. You're maybe interacting with hospitals and nursing facilities. You don't know what's happening. And having an ally and having somebody that can just walk you through the process that's available. Larry's answered his phone no less than 5 times today with different questions from family members. We've got you. We've got you. But you got to come to the workshop to learn more about how we can help.
And I think, Larry, as we talk about the workshops, why it's so important is because people have maybe a notion in their head about what this process is like, or they've heard things from other people, or they've read something on social media or the internet. You guys are able to cut through, dispel through the rumors, and get you the real information, and a lot of it that has changed over the years.
And once again, Brian, this is why you've demonstrated to the Wave 3 community why you're the eminent TV personality for all things related to the media. No, because what you're talking about is the barbershop law, the beauty shop law, where people heard at church or whatever, and maybe well-intentioned, but it's usually wrong. And all it does is get people so upset. And that's why at the workshops, we've had a lot of reservations coming through today online. They go to elderadvisors.com or freeworkshop.com for the website. They just go to freeworkshop.com. But there's some people that won't because they've subscribed to the negative energy that nothing can be done. I'm down to my last $50,000, and Uncle Cletus at church church said, I'm going to lose it. And they just throw up the disparity. There's the despair. There's nothing that can be done, and it's not necessary.
That's always one of the misconceptions that's so important to touch on. Any others, Lindsay? I don't want to give away everything from the workshops, but
we talked a little bit about Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home, which is great. But I fielded some phone calls from an adult child of a community spouse couple we're helping in Indiana, and he was like, "Well, I'm asking some of these questions even for me," and I was like, "Right, because you don't want your children to be going through this." So there's something for everyone at the workshop, and we talk a lot about Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. If you are in crisis, we can help. But if you're 64, you're 65, you're recently retired, you haven't done anything, and a nursing home is nowhere on your radar, there are still things that we can do to protect you, your assets, and your family, really, for the future. And I think it's important to know you don't just have to be facing a health crisis to come out to the workshop.
right.
And Brian, there's people watching this show, and who else wouldn't be tuning in to Wade 3 Listens Live with
They are.
Brian, right?
They always tell us.
Right? Of course. But there's some people watching and go, well, my mom or my dad, they're not going to the nursing home. Well, and I understand that. Well, now we have the resources to try and ensure that that does happen. We've got a master level social worker working with us, Mary Ann Keller. So now you forget about Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. Now you don't have to go to the nursing home. There's options and skill sets that we can now bring to the table so we can age in place, which means stay at home.
And that is why it's so important. And you've touched on this before about it's never too early to start getting
is
this
not.
information.
No.
Come to the workshops, arm
Right.
yourself with the info you're going to need as you or the loved ones enter this next stage of your life.
Right. And now with Mary Ann being on board as a social worker for the advocate to the families, where Lindsay and I kind of advocate for the financial part, they can take a lot of that stress off the shoulders because, they're getting calls, they're trying to line up care, different agencies, and then people don't show up, then the kids got to go in. And right now, there's people in Kentucky right now that they always jump emotionally, at least when the phone rings, because it's like, oh, what is it now with
Right,
mom?
right.
What is it with dad?
Sometimes you're just at that stage of all of your lives.
And it's only going to get worse. So we can kind of advocate on a personal level to kind of help navigate that, to bring agencies health options in the home so maybe they don't have to go to the nursing home.
And Lindsay, I imagine there's so many times where you've been able to help people that you wish you could have gotten to them just a little sooner.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you're on the fence or I don't know about all this, come in. There is the workshop, and that's the reason why we do them, right? Because this is tough stuff, and it's just a no obligation, right? Opportunity to just sit and listen in kind of a group environment that you can turn around and walk away. If you're not ready,
no
whatever,
pressure.
it's no pressure.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of times we're hoping or wishing that we could help people sooner, and I think a lot of folks, the Google search bar, right? We all love the Google search bar. I have no idea how to change my brakes. I would never change my brakes. I would never Google how to change my brakes.
You're not a mechanic.
Because I'm not a mechanic. I don't know. And I think there's people in Kentuckiana that are Googling care at home for mom, how to aging parent protect, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's just it just is not, that's what we're here for. That's what we're the experts. This is all we do. Know one thing and do it well. And that's what we do for folks all over Kentuckiana all the time.
Larry, that's such an important message because even with your analogy, we've got about a minute left.
Yeah.
With brakes, maybe that's one thing you learn. With elder care, there are levels upon levels upon levels where you need that expertise.
Brian, a long journey begins at this first step, and for Kentuckiana, it's starting next Monday. It's starting next Monday at the Hilton Garden Inn on Crittenden Drive, right off exit 132 next to the Cracker Barrel. For the Kentucky folk on Monday, Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., we are at the Hampton Inn in Clarksville off Veterans Parkway on Broadway, and on Wednesday for the rancher James Andrews and the rest of his folks down in
All those ranchers.
Gordon, Wednesday.
Brandenburg.
We're there.
All right, freeworkshop.com, the place to go. He's about to close us out. I usually like when you guys are here to let you say goodbye to our Wave Listens
Kentucky,
audience.
Don't go broke in a nursing home. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Freeworkshop.com.
We want to see
Freeworkshop.com.
you Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
Gordon, James Andrew.
Thank you both so much for
thank you
joining
so
us.
much
Thanks
for
for,
being here.
thanks for the hard work you do. Thanks for matching me today.
I know. Yes, this is good.
I'm emulating you.
We got it all covered. We'll see you back here on Listens tomorrow.